Welcome back to this series on the ICF core competencies. We are up to number 5, and I'm excited. I've got Angelos Derlopas with me today, and he's going to be explaining to you all really what active listening is. So without further ado, Angelos, thank you for being here with us. And if you could jump right in and let us know kind of your definition of active listening.
Well, my definition, and of course ICF's definition, is the active listening is what is? It's a skill, of course. It's the skill that the coach has to focus completely on what the client is saying and also on what the client is not saying. And understanding the meaning of all the words of what is said in the context of the client's desires. And in that way, he can or she can support the client self-expression.
You know, one question I have here is you are you're from somewhere other than the States. So where are you from?
I'm from Greece, Athens.
So in terms of active listening, I mean, your command of the English language is great. We had a little conversation earlier, but you know, is there anything in terms of active listening? Are there any kind of barriers to people who are going across different languages?
I should say that active listening is not language specific, but perhaps sometimes depending on the mentality and how people are presenting themselves, how energetic they are, perhaps sometimes when they're a basic coach, a starter coach, that doesn't really get to focus on the client and has the energy and wants to some kind of participate or get there for the client or prove something, because we're not in the coaching session to prove something. We're there to, be there for the client and serve the client when and how the client wants it.
I like that because definitely this seems to be a recurring theme here. As you get more experienced coaching, you spend less time talking and less time probably in your own head and more just creating that space. So that was a bonus question I just wanted to throw out there as you were saying that. But I want to ask you now, when you're your mentor coach, so when you're watching someone coach and they're really, really good at this, what does that look like? What do you see?
Well, it's like having a laser that expands in all the fields and gets all the information and finds out and digs everything up and puts it in front of the client so the client can really understand, or the client feel that he's been respected a lot. And at the same time, the coach helps the client to understand better even the nuances, or the client is invited to dig deeper and explain so the client can gain clarity on many things, because we're usually working a busy life and we are influenced by everything that surrounds us and everything that's inside us as well. So usually we are in the process of endless processing things, ideas, emotions, and we don't even know and what is influencing us. So a coach that can really coach at the top level for his active or her active listening is producing this value that we really need as people, as clients, as whoever. We really need someone that can make us discuss and understand better what is around us and what is inside us.
I like that because it is actually something that I've thought of as an interviewing skill too, is to be thinking about really listening to what someone's saying versus trying to formulate the next question or whatnot. So great. So now if you could flip it to the other side and tell me, what does this look like when a coach really hasn't mastered active listening, and what are they doing? What are you seeing when you're mentor coaching? What are you seeing them do?
Well, the coach who hasn't mastered this well, usually, and I will say that in a sympathetic way, usually this kind of coach is looking, and you can see on his face all the problems that he's trying to decode what is happening, and he might be expressing, different kind of feelings or disbelief, and that sometimes you cannot really understand, does he really hear me? Or is he judging me? Or has he really heard what I'm saying, what I said? Or is that what he understood from what I said? So, you don't expect really big deal of listening for when someone is, just starting.
So now let's go directly into really that spectrum of ACC to PCC to MCC. When someone is just starting, what's the expectation from ICF standpoint or your standpoint as a mentor coach? They clearly have to be better at this at the MCC level, but can you tell us a little bit about like what you see as, I guess, kind of like acceptable at the ACC level where they couldn't get away with that at the MCC level? What does that look like, that spread?
Hopefully, at the ACC level, you don't get that kind of coach that I described just now. Okay, he has credibility. He can demonstrate an understanding of what the client is saying. It's just that he cannot really go in too much, big depth like a PCC level coach could do. A PCC level coach could provide more clarity, more understand better, what the client is saying is not saying, or what the client is feeling, how that would be linked to values, dreams, visions, what is holding him back. What can bring him, her forward. And through that kind of listening, he can facilitate more understanding and more insights and can serve the client better.
Yes.
Now, at an MCC level,
yes, and I'm just kind of thinking through how this all fits together. These core competencies really, really fit together well. And if you miss out on one, the others aren't going to work. Like if you're not doing active listening, you're probably not going to get into powerful questioning because your questions are going to be, off. They're going to be from your standpoint, not facilitating the client understanding or digging deeper into themselves. So Angelos, thank you so much. Could you let folks know you're a mentor coach? So if folks are interested in contacting you, how should they get in touch with you?
They can visit my site. Our site is positivityglobal.org. It's positivityglobal.org, and the email is ask@positivityglobal.org.
Very good. Well, thank you so much, Angelos, for coming to us all the way from Greece. And thank you for watching. And I mentioned powerful questioning. That's going to be the next one up. If you just click up here, you're going to get right into powerful questioning. Or if you click down here, you can start over at the beginning of the 11 core competencies and watch them all. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.